You wake up, pain radiating from your chest. As the ambulance rushes you to the hospital, you beg for one more chance. You promise to take better care of your health. The doctors save you. You have a second shot. The current pandemic has been a similar near-death experience for the human race. There have been more than 40 million cases of COVID-19 around the world and more than 1 million deaths. But it could have been worse. The COVID mortality rate is under 3%, relatively low compared to previous pandemics. COVID-19 is a wake-up call for humanity to pay attention to all the major threats facing the planet.
COVID didn't originate the problems we are experiencing, but it certainly intensified them.
We're in this moment of accelerated change and deep uncertainty and a lot of forms of harm that are proliferating around the world, whether it's pandemic related, economic devastation related, or the sort of quickening climate crisis related.
The U.S. military is being geared up from counterinsurgency to fighting other major powers, up to and including nuclear war. And we haven't been in a situation like that in 30-odd years.
Now that we are at the onset of the second wave, the worst developments might still be to come.
This summer, the Institute for Policy Studies, the Transnational Institute, and Focus on the Global South brought together 70 of the world's leading thinkers and activists for 8 conversations about the impact of COVID-19 on the global economy, the environment, international cooperation, and much more. Out of these conversations, we have created a captivating and inspiring narrative, The Pandemic Pivot, which lays out a bold alternative to the policies that got us into this mess in the first place. Our new book calls for a global Green New Deal, revamped budget priorities, and greater international cooperation, especially between the United States and China.
Whatever you might think about what the long-term strategy with China should be, I think the idea that putting a pause on escalating tensions until we can figure this out is pretty widely accepted.
Here in the United States, progressives in Congress have started to focus on cutting the Pentagon budget in a way that they haven't done for many years. And there was a concerted push in 2020, and I expect that there will be another in 2021.
It's clear that resources do exist. It's also clear that when the governments want, they can shut off and turn on the economy.
If all this loss has happened, let it not be, wasted. Let it at least be a gain for deep and real change.
Unless the world executes a pandemic pivot, we won't be able to repair the damage caused by COVID-19, nor will we have the strength or resilience to survive what comes next.